Voiceover. Today, we're putting two headline-grabbing exotics under bright lights: the 2025 Ferrari SF90 and the Toyota GT Super. One is Maranello's electrified missile with sculpted aero and motorsport DNA. The other is Toyota's Halo Coupe, lean, modern, and infused with the brand's growing obsession with track feel. In this video, we'll zero in on what you can actually see: the exterior design, the surfaces and details that move air and eyes, and the color options that change each car's mood. If you're choosing spec for an order or just want to understand why these shapes work, settle in. The 2025 Ferrari SF90 evolves the familiar wedge of the Stradale into something even more laser-cut. Up front, the hood has a deep central valley that visually lowers the nose while feeding the front radiators, and the fenders rise with subtle muscle over the wheel arches. Ferrari drama without cartoon bulges. The headlights are razor-thin boomerangs with stacked DRL signatures. They kick inward toward a wide, open lower grille that frames two active flaps. Those flaps are part of the SF90's aero brain. At speed, they trim drag on straights and add downforce under braking. Look closely at the bumper corners. There are air curtains that knife around the front wheels to keep turbulence tidy. From above, the car is an hourglass. Broad at the axles, pinched at the doors, broad again over the rear haunches. The roofline is low and flows straight into the engine cover, which sits beneath a glass showcase to put the V8 and hybrid hardware on display. Ferrari carves the side with one definitive feature line: an inlet that starts behind the door shut and scoops massive air into the rear intercoolers. Unlike tacked-on intakes, it's sculpted into the body as if the wind itself pressed a thumb along the sheet metal. The tail is all business. Twin light rings are set into dark housings, separated by a transversal strip that frames the active, shut-off gurney, a hidden aero element that pivots to adjust rear downforce. Exhausts sit high, centralized, with a heat-dissipating grille stitching the bumper together. Beneath, a deep diffuser with vertical fences manages wake. Wheels typically come in lightweight forged designs with Y-spoke or starburst patterns, and the brake calipers can be color-keyed: classic yellow, red, or stealth black, so you can decide whether to shout or whisper track intent. Now, colors. Ferrari's palette is an exercise in heritage and theater. Rosso Casa and Rosso Scuderia are the iconic reds. Rosso Magello adds a deeper, wine-like richness. Giallo Modena turns the car into a rolling highlight pen, perfect if you like F1 pit lane vibes. For something more modern, Grigio Titanio and Grigio Silverstone are liquid metal grays that sharpen the panel lines, while Nero Daytona gives full villain energy with a hint of metallic flake. Blues. Tour de France and Blue Pazzi. Red elegant and old world. Blue Casa and Blue Elettrico lean brighter and showcase every curve at golden hour. Many buyers add the Aceto Fiorano style stripe package, a dual-band livery that runs the centerline, visually flattening the hood and pulling the eye down the car's spine. Pair that with carbon exterior bits, mirror caps, front splitter, side skirts, rear diffuser, and you get higher contrast and a leaner silhouette. Enter the Toyota GT Super, Toyota's statement that the brand isn't done building poster cars. Where the Ferrari is scalpel sharp, the GT Super plays with sinew and tension. The nose blends a shark-like central intake with two deep side inlets that feed brakes and oil coolers. The headlights are triple-element projectors underscored by a sweeping DRL that doubles as a character line, wrapping into the front fenders. Instead of a flat hood, there are two power domes that imply straight six or hybrid muscle beneath. The center channel dips slightly, hinting at a low-mounted intake path. In profile, the car is a study in proportion. Long hood, compact cabin nudged rearward, short overhangs, and a wheelbase that plants the stance. The roof makes a subtle double bubble, a nod to racing helmets and a trick to reduce frontal area without sacrificing headroom. The shoulder line rises over the rear wheels into a taut, almost architectural haunch. Door scallops pull air toward functional side intakes. The greenhouse is pinched like a race visor, and blacked-out A-pillars create a floating roof effect on lighter paints. At the back, the GT Super blends elegance with aero. A fixed ducktail wing is integrated into the deck, avoiding the bolt-on look. The taillights are slender blades that sweep inward, framing a black panel with the Toyota wordmark: clean, timeless. A full-width diffuser with two large, widely spaced exhaust finishers and a center fog light announces its track leanings. If you look under show lighting, you'll catch subtle vortex generators along the bumper's lower lip designed to stabilize flow at high speed. Wheel designs range from sculpted 10-spoke forged sets to motorsport-inspired center lock lookalikes, with traditional lugs for practicality. Brake calipers can be optioned in red or bright silver, and a carbon ceramic pack swaps in larger rotors with pedal edges. Again, functional, but also a style statement behind open spokes. Optional carbon for the roof panel, mirror caps, and front canards not only trims mass up high, it darkens the visual center of the car, making light colors pop and dark colors go full stealth mode. Toyota's color story with the GT Super is clever because every shade shifts the character. Absolute Zero, solid white, as crisp and shows every surfacing ripple. Great if you love seeing the styling team's pen marks in the reflections. Nocturnal Black turns the car into a midnight silhouette. With black wheels and carbon aero, it's the discreet assassin spec. Renaissance Red is the spiritual successor to classic Toyota performance hues, bright enough to light the body lines without screaming. Nitro Yellow is a hero color, sunny, photogenic, and vivid on social feeds. For cooler tones, Stratosphere is a deep metallic blue that looks almost ink black at dusk but flashes sapphire under LEDs. There's also a matte or frozen gray option in some packs. Matte finishes absorb light, so they simplify reflections and make the form read more like a clay model. Stunning, but consider the extra care during washes. Accent packages can add contrasting roof panels, black mirror caps, and a thin pinstripe along the rocker for a vintage GT touch. Parked side by side, the differences in design philosophy jump out. The SF90 is about energy compressed into a surgical tool, straight edges meeting soft radii, a low cowl, and active aero elements that reconfigure with purpose. Its colors tell a story of heritage and race paddocks. Pick a bold primary, amplify with carbon, and it looks ready for a qualifying lap in any century. The GT Super is about balance, long hood romance with a modern, technical twist. Its paint catalog is built for self-expression. Classic reds and whites for purists, electric brights and matte grays for the street fashion crowd. If you favor detail contrast, spec lighter paints with a carbon roof and dark wheels. If you want a monolithic vibe, go dark on dark and let the DRLs and taillight signatures do the talking. A few quick spec pointers. On the Ferrari, bright calipers under darker paints telegraph the car's brake hardware and add a motorsport cue. On lighter paints, black calipers keep things sophisticated and let the bodywork lead. Stripe packs visually lengthen the SF90, great if you want a more aggressive stance on camera. On the Toyota, choose wheels with thin spokes if you want a lighter, track-bred look in photos. Thicker, machine face designs read more premium. If you're filming often at sunset or under city lights, metallics like Grigio Silverstone or Stratosphere throw rich highlights that make rolling shots look expensive. For studio shoots and thumbnail punch, solid primaries, Giallo Modena, Nitro Yellow, Renaissance Red, deliver instant click appeal. At the end of the day, both machines wear their missions on the outside. The 2025 Ferrari SF90 communicates speed even at rest, with every vent and crease answering to airflow and lap time. Its color palette is a tribute to racing bloodlines, and the right combination of carbon and stripes can turn it from sculpture to weapon. The Toyota GT Super brings attainable exotica, familiar proportions honed with modern aero and a wardrobe that lets you tune the personality from gentleman GT to prowling street fighter. Whichever one you lean toward, remember, color and trim aren't afterthoughts. They're the final design strokes that make the car yours.